Hi everyone, another video about 5G. I'm just going to share some information that's been sent to me by Global Research, who I do support and very highly recommend Global Research as a trusted alternative news provider. Now, I'll leave the link to this report underneath, but it is really serious, this 5G stuff. The problem with it is saturation is the main problem, that it's literally going to be everywhere. And as it says here, there are thousands of published studies that show that even low levels of microwave radiation do cause a biological effect. Because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about microwave radiation. People that compare that in their minds with like radiation emitting from a nuclear power station. The two forms of radiation are completely different, but both forms do have a biological effect. And so, this is why in my previous video I queried about whether or not we really can call this type of microwave radiation non-ionising, because that's quite misleading, because it does actually penetrate cells. It has a cellular impact. So it isn't quite the same as comparing it to non-ionising radiation in terms of, like nuclear power radiation. So if we look at this here, one key player has not been swayed by all this wireless-friendly research: the insurance industry. Why would we want to do that? One executive asked with a chuckle before pointing to more than 24 lawsuits outstanding against wireless companies, demanding a total of $1.9 billion in damages. Okay. Causes specifically a heart tissue cancer in rats, and some evidence of cancer in the brain and adrenal glands. This is mobile phone radiation. Clear evidence. Okay. Not one major news organisation in the US or Europe reported this scientific news. They attribute that science to the power of the Cellular Telecommunications and Internet Association, CTIA, and the whole wireless industry, which for decades has been orchestrating a global PR campaign aimed at misleading not only journalists but also consumers and policymakers and the actual science concerning mobile phone radiation. And this is why my previous video, standing by Mark Steele, who raised that point, look at your counsellors. What do they know? They're making decisions for you and your children, for your family, your community. What do they really know? Okay? And what's in it for them? What are they getting out of agreeing to this 5G rollout? So, yeah, coming soon to your neighbourhood, 5G wireless. And I've shared this before. 236 radiation research scientists from around the world have signed a petition that 5G will be massively increasing the general population's radiation exposure, and it's not just humans that are endangered by this. Dr. Joel Moskovitz, a University of California, Berkeley health professor, told the UK's Daily Mail that the deployment of 5G constitutes a massive experiment on the health of all species. Notice that stuff like this often does get published in newspapers like the Daily Mail, in order to discredit that news before it's even read, really, because let's face it, it's the gutter press, innit? Oh, you don't believe what they say in the gutter press, do you? And it goes on. There you go. They give off the same dose of radiation as airport scanners. Well, you go through an airport scanner once, don't you, now and again? This is going to be day in, day out, 24/7. And there you go, look. Peer studies revealing harm to birds, tadpoles, trees, other plants, insects, rodents and livestock offer clues. Given that he called 5G a massive experiment on the health of the species, of all species, I asked Dr. Moscovich whether the mainstream media had expressed interest in this perspective. He replied by email, "Although I've been interviewed by hundreds of times by journalists since 2009 about cell phone effect, there has been little interest in 5G, with only 3 publications in the past 2 years showing interest in the new technology's health effects." Beaulieu refers to the fact that surveillance is becoming big business because, you know, this is what it's about. Jos del Sol Beaulieu. They're rushing into 5G because of corporate profit. Tens of billions of dollars of economic activity, as stated very clearly by former FCC, US Federal Communications Commission frontman Tom Wheeler in 2016. If the data harvested unlawfully from smart meters will be worth much more than residential electricity, then what will be the unparalleled amount of user data harvested by ultra-invasive 5G technology be worth? Because, you know, they can actually look into your homes. They can monitor what you are doing in your home at any given time. Beaulieu also mentions the fact that 5G emits the same frequencies that are used in crowd control weapons developed by the Pentagon. Crowd control. Now, this is where you need to wake yourselves up, people. Imagine you're living in a city full of these 5G transmitters. Your government has stripped you of your human rights. They're expecting you to work for a slave wage. There's rationing, there's food rationing. You've had enough. You're out on the streets, you're protesting. Ramp up the volume, innit? Ramp up the volume. Wake up. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. How about if there's cameras stored in every place and everybody's, yeah, all right then, let's have CCTV. Let's have, you know, they can monitor crime and stuff like that, catch criminals. But imagine if those cameras at any time could be turned into, say, a machine gun to just kill people. And so imagine what you're letting in to your environment, because even as they are, right, 5G is the same stuff that they use for crowd control. The same frequencies it's operating on. Seriously, seriously. We cannot allow this. We've got to be stupid. You've got to be a stupid species. You've got to be, to allow it, to allow this when you know that these corporations lie to us, that they make mistakes, people suffer in every way imaginable, people die, children die, babies die. We're sorry, how many thousands and thousands have suffered before finally, oh, all right then, yeah, here you go, paltry sums of compensation. Oh yeah, we're taking it all down now. But how many billions have been spent on it in the meantime? So, why should we trust them? Well, stupidity, as it so happens, because to be a human being, the human species to survive means we have to be fit, okay? Fit. Being fit for a human means having all your faculties, being intelligent. Stupidity kills. It kills, okay? Only stupid, ignorant people will allow this, and you will suffer as a result, okay? And so will your children. And that's the fact of it. But you want to trust your counsellors. You want to put your faith in them. You want to put your child's health in your counsellors' hands, do you? You think they are intelligent people? Are they intelligent people? Because I'll tell you now, with intelligence comes compassion. And where there's no compassion, there's no intelligence. You're talking stupidity. Blind stupidity. Because they have no intelligence. Look at that. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, hundreds and thousands of several here already. Rapidly transmit emails, process internet searches, blah, 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 blah. Suck up megawatts. Energy hogs. Beaulieu suggests we educate our city councillors to resist the 5G build-out. Well, that's exactly what Mark Steele's doing. Who's standing with him in Gateshead? We need a Mark Steele in every council area in Britain, don't we? And the people standing with him or her. That's what we need. You are going to have to get active, people. Okay, we cannot continue to just put our blind faith and blind trust in councils and these MPs and government ministers who have not got a clue. Who's paying them? Who's paying them? The corporations. So, there you go. That's all I came on to share anyway. And again, I'll leave Mark Steele's link underneath this. Do check him out. And also Ian R. Crane talks a lot. He shares a lot of information about 5G. There's a lot of information out there. This stuff is uninsurable. Insurers refuse to insure it. Lloyd's will not insure it. Why should we accept it? Okay, so God bless and love to all.